All right, let's analyze this insane Canadian immigration fraud case that just happened, see how the police are handling it. There's some positives in this story, but the whole thing is unbelievably bad, and we really need to do something about it. So, just very quickly, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because you may have seen it, but this guy has a 17-year-old niece who's working at Tim Hortons, and somebody from another country said, "Hey, do you want to be her boyfriend?" And then you get up to $20,000 if you do to sort of commit immigration fraud, right? You can probably get married at some point and then get them into Canada that way. So let's just watch a few clips and see what happens and then what we can do about this.
Here with Matt Monroe, whose niece, 17-year-old girl, was offered a staggering deal to partake in some immigration fraud, and he's going to sound the alarm on all of this. So can you tell us a little bit about your niece's employment here at Tim Hortons and where it all went wrong?
So she's been working here. She wasn't working here very long, maybe a few months, and everything seemed to be going all right. And then she sent me a message with a bunch of screenshots that her manager, I guess I shouldn't say the name, her manager had sent her a message over Snapchat asking her if she had a boyfriend, which she had replied no. She asked if she wanted an Indian boyfriend, and my niece's reply was, well, how old is he? And she said 25. And she said, well, I'm only 17. Like, no. And she replied with, well, if you want an Indian boyfriend, he can pay you $15,000 to $20,000 to get with him. Which she replied, like, no, this is illegal. Mm-hmm. So at that point, she was done talking to her manager. She went to her other manager then, and her other manager basically laughed her off, said this was no big deal, it's just a joke, and then proceeded to make a joke and make fun of her and the situation. She went to another employee to confide in her. Her other employee tried to talk her into taking the money and doing the bribe, to which she replied again, like, no, this is illegal. This is immigration fraud. And her reply, the other co-worker's reply was, I know 4 other people that have been married for 6 years who have never met each other. And she said, again, my niece replied, no, this is illegal. This is immigration fraud.
Okay, so imagine that you're offering a 17-year-old girl, which is already way off limits, but doesn't really matter the age. Someone Canadian, people are offering like $20,000 to set up a fake marriage so that they can get all the rights and, sneak in illegally to Canada. Now, the one problem I have with this, among many, is why does anybody think that you can do that? And sadly, they're probably right in the sense that until now, they're so lax on crime. Like, what's the big deal? Are they even going to check it out? Or are they going to deport anybody? Or are they going to take years and years before you get a court date and then you can just sort of forget about it? You get a lawyer for free and then say, I was kind of kidding. I wasn't really going to do it. Okay, don't do it again. Like, what really happens? That's the scary part, is people think you can do this. So more people come here and try to pull off these scams because they're not worried about the repercussions. Now let's just take another look down here. This is the positive clip. Surprising, but watch this. This is a shorter clip. Take a look at this.
I also did go into this Tim Hortons to see if I could maybe be offered $20,000 to marry the manager's brother. So have a look at how that went. I heard I could make $20,000 if I wanted to marry the manager's brother here. Can I start that process?
I don't have any comments on that.
You have no comments on it? So is it true or not?
I'm not sure.
Pardon me?
No comments on that.
No comments. So you're saying it's potentially true then by not saying it's not true. No comment. Are you the manager?
No.
No?
She's the lady. She's okay.
That's the one that's offering $20,000 to marry her brother? You're not sure? No? Okay. Thanks anyway.
Here's the positive
The owner
part.
called, but he's not here. So he's claiming that gentleman who was trespassed came into the store.
Not the gentleman, the lady.
What lady?
The one who's holding the.
Yeah. And what's wrong with that?
So he said that no one, like she's trespassing in the private property.
How is she trespassing?
Like he was like standing in the lobby.
She is an independent journalist. She was never trespassed from this property, and she has her 100% rights to be here. Just because your boss doesn't like the fact that an independent journalist is in here video recording, that's not up to him. She has the right to do that.
I can call him and you can
I'm not going to, no, I'm not going to talk to him. You tell him that she has all the right to be here. I'm not going to entertain that. You tell that to Mohammed. I'm sorry if I'm being crass with you, but you relay that to Mohammed that I'm not even entertaining that portion of it, of this lady being here.
if any media is
It doesn't matter. They have all the right.
So the pleasant surprise, and it actually is a surprise, is that the police went in there. This guy, the manager, calls for trespassing, which it is not because it's a public place. Well, you have to ask people to leave at least first before you can do that. You can't just secretly call the police. And the police came and defended the independent journalist. But you can just see, like, this is the type of scam. They don't want to get caught. And it, like, obviously, I'm not saying everybody's doing it from a different country, not even close. But the fact is, enough people are comfortable even texting out a scam like this, offering that kind of money, saying they know a bunch of other people. And you just think, how widespread is this? This is just in one little Tim Hortons. And then the follow up, which I'm dying to know, and I will follow up in the future on a different video, is what happens? Like, what happens to somebody trying to commit this? And how does Canada rebrand itself so that anybody coming here knows it's like the don't chew gum in Singapore thing. Don't commit immigration fraud in Canada. You know, you want to come here, have a good life, work hard, be a normal person, great. But if you think you can just scam everybody, and you know the law doesn't apply to you, or you can get a lawyer and figure it out somehow, that is going to mess the whole place up. So we really need the point system of immigration, high quality, and then really coming down hard on people who are clearly abusing it. So you think, what else are they abusing? Taxes, you know, you name it. So, like healthcare fraud, it just, the list goes on and on. I know doctors that are claiming like they're seeing all these different types of fraud, and I'll get into that in another video, but just wanted to share this one. Hope you enjoyed it and leave your comments. Hopefully you subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.